What's up, guys? GP True Pro back with another video. I had to start taping my video outside. I didn't want my coworker to think I was weird talking to my phone. You know, we're bashful and shy in some instances, but hey, I came short and sweet to talk about the power of don't feel like. When I work out, sometimes I wake up and I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like working out. And some days I come to work, I don't feel like coming to work. Like, I don't feel like working. And my job is very mentally, it takes a lot of mental endurance. How about that? I won't say mentally stressing because it's not stressful. I've done a lot harder jobs. So like, I'd rather be an insurance agent than work in a call center, for instance. I'd rather be an insurance agent than work in a restaurant. I've done both of those things, and I'd rather be an insurance agent, which is why I'm an insurance agent. But, you know, some days you just come to work, you don't feel like working. You're human, and, you know, some days are like that. But the importance of, I've always trained my mind, like, with things. That's why I mentioned working out, to understand that it's going to be a lot of days where you don't feel like doing stuff. And so if you just don't put forth your best effort, or if you don't get over that and you allow it to consume you and allow yourself to slack, then it's going to become a pattern. You're going to not feel like it time after time after time. I had some workout partners, and I always used to tell them, they're like, man, I don't feel like it today, I'm sore. I don't feel like it today, I'm tired. I was like, that's the day you need to go the hardest, because what's going to happen is it's going to be another day where you don't feel like it. What if it's 2 days back to back, you don't feel like it? What are you going to do? What if it's a week, a month, back to back, you don't feel like it? What are you going to do? That's why I always disobey, don't feel like. It's like the journey is the most important part. Those times where it's hard to get up, those times where it's hard to apply yourself, those are the most important days for me. If I ever wake up any morning and I don't feel like coming to work, or I don't feel like working out, I tell myself, I gotta make sure I do it today, because that proves more than you doing it on a day you feel great. Like, how many mornings do you wake up and just feel fantastic? I mean, every morning, it's something every morning that you can complain about. But how many, and you know, I'm a positive person, but I don't feel fantastic every day. There are days I feel good. There are days I feel fantastic. There's days I feel great. There's days I don't feel like doing anything at all. Like, even today. Today's a rainy day. I've been up since 5:30 a.m. So, you know, it'll be easy for me to come to work and just say, hey, I'm not gonna do nothing. I've done great this week. I've done more than some agencies have done this week. So that's individually, I've done better than some agencies have done this week. So I'm not trying to brag, but what I'm saying is I had every excuse to stop, but I went ahead and kept pushing, because I don't want to get in the habit of slacking. I don't want to get in the habit of selling myself short, because it's easy to join that club. And I also tell myself, when I don't feel like doing something, like, let's say I feel like going, I'm supposed to be at the gym, but I don't feel like going to the gym or even work. Oh, I'm gonna call in from work today. I ask myself, what are you gonna do today? If you call in from work, or if you don't go to the gym, you're probably gonna do the same thing you're gonna do when you get off of work. And then when the time for you to get off of work, or the time passes where you would have been coming home from the gym, you're gonna be like, man, I should have went to work. Like, it wouldn't have been that bad. So I always tell myself, you'll get more out of it if you go and do whatever. And I'm not saying if you're sick or something, but if you just want to be lazy, don't feel like doing nothing, you're mentally drained or whatever, and you're like, man, I'm not gonna do nothing today. Apply yourself, man. You're gonna break through. You're gonna become such a hustler. You're gonna become such a go-getter. Nothing's gonna be able to stop you, because you're able to push past even that mental temptation to settle in, to go on cruise control. And I used to always wonder, I used to pray for a work ethic, but I had one. I didn't even know I had one, but I used to pray for even harder work ethic, because I always felt like I'm not working hard enough. Even now, I talked to the owner of my agency today, and he said, well, he's like, you did a great job last month. I said, yeah, I saw what I did last month. I want to keep doing that, but I want to also add more things onto that. I want to start doing this, and that. And he's like, that's good to show that initiative. And that's what I've transformed myself into. In the beginning, I would do the work I'm supposed to do. And then as I grew in life, now I'm doing the work. I'm doing even more work. Like, and it's at a point, like I work on the weekends. I'm at a point where even, how do I say it? Even the extra work feels like not enough. I'm outworking the extra work. Like I was working on Black Friday. I go to work on the weekends. I always give myself time to rest. I try to take at least a day off, or if I do something on the weekend, it'll be a lot more slight, but that can produce results. So with all that being said, I always used to love Kobe. Kobe was my favorite basketball player. Still is my favorite basketball player. Rest in peace, Kobe and Gianna and the families that lost their lives in that tragedy. But Kobe was my favorite player. And I used to wonder, I used to tell stories about how Kobe worked so hard. I was like, dang, I wonder how Kobe treated those days where he didn't feel like it. When he didn't feel like going to work, and he just working as hard as he can, waking up at 4 a.m., working as hard as he can. It's like, man, how does he, because I always say when folks say, oh, I don't feel like going to work, I say, I can't afford not to go to work. I'm not a millionaire. That's a millionaire's privilege. You want to rest, you want to not work, that's a millionaire. You got to be a millionaire to do that to me. Kobe was a multi-millionaire. He could afford to not feel like, in my opinion, he could afford to not feel like, he could afford to take a day off, but then it's just that willingness to want to be better. Like he didn't just want to be the best player where he's from. He didn't just want to be the best player on his team. He didn't just want to be the best player in the NBA. He wants to be the greatest ever. And he won that in some people's heart, And I'm not here for a basketball debate. What I'm here for is, like, my dad used to tell me, don't just be on a team, stand out. Like, stand out on a team. And so, yeah, and I wasn't the best athlete. I was an okay athlete. But when it comes to my areas of specialty, I stand out. I've done it my whole life. And I just want to implant that into someone. You can't afford to not feel like, you can't afford to take a day off. You can't afford to take it easy, because every time I think to take it easy, I think about all the other agents. I'm like, all of these agents that are ahead of me, all these agents that have been doing it for years, all of these agents that, are living lavish, that are still working. And then there's me. Why should I take a day off? I gotta surpass them. I have mountains to top. And so I didn't mean for this to be 10 minutes, but I just want everybody out there, if you're struggling with advancing somewhere, if you're struggling with getting somewhere, fight the urge to not feel like, man. You can't afford to not feel like. Don't not feel like, man. That's a double negative, I know. Don't not feel like. That is one of the most dangerous mindsets ever. Hey, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it today. No, I want to get where I'm going as fast as I can. I want to get to the point where, like, everybody gets to that point where your goals are now, you dwarf your goals to the point where now you have even larger goals, 10 times the amount of your original goals. And so I want to get there as fast as I can. And it's not about being fast. It's about being capable. I want to know it's possible so that I can do something else, do something bigger than what I thought was insurmountable or intimidating. So set those goals, man, and work for them relentlessly, man. Don't not feel like, because that's going to turn, that one not feel like day is going to turn into 10 not feel like days that month. And when you subtract the weekends, if you're working just Monday through Friday, that's 20 days. It's not 30 days. It's 20 days. And then you subtract the days you not feel like. If you have 10 not feel like days in a month, you only work 10 days that month. And yes, I chop because I work based on a certain structure, so I chop it up like that. You work 10 days that month if you not felt like for 10 days that month. Even if you not feel like for 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say it's 4 to 5 weeks. If you not feel like one day a week and you don't work on the weekends, you only worked about 2 weeks that month. You only put in about 2 weeks of work. Somebody like me, I work on the weekends so that I can add more work to the stash. It's like, okay, I work 20 days during the week, and then months like this is a holiday. So I was like, well, I'll work the day after a holiday, because nobody feels like going to work that day. Everybody's not feel like in that day, I'm going to go to work. And it builds such a hunger in you when you stop adhering to those temptations to stop. It builds such a hunger in you that you start to just do crazy things. You start to work half days when you're not supposed to be at work, or you start to come up with ideas that nobody would ever fathom, or you start to achieve goals that look crazy. Like how they look crazy. So that's my TED Talk on hunger. That's my TED Talk on the not feel like days. I was once a person that every now and then you become bound by a not feel like day, but just make it a habit to overcome those days. If you want to lose weight, if you want to improve your career, if you want to just become a more ambitious person, you can't afford to not feel like. All right, that's all I got. I'm GP True Pro, and I'm signing out.